Hey, I've not made a Doom video in a while and I thought, now's as good a time as any. It's spring, I've actually got access to a computer that can record things and actually play Doom without horrible stutter. There's ducks on the pond, it's a good time. So what I chose to play was something from the upcoming Slaughterfest 2013 MegaWad, which is, I think there's a pre-release version out now, you should check it out in Doom World. But I picked a map called Castle of the Damned by Time of Death, and as you can imagine it is a remake of Quake E1M2, Castle of the Damned, with a bit of a twist at the end. Time of Death, he makes probably one of my favourite mappers. He's made some really good stuff. And he's made quite a lot of remakes of maps you find in other games, like he's made a Silent Hill related one, there's a Zelda one. The Chips Challenge maps he's made are incredible. Didn't think it was possible to remake Chips Challenge maps in vanilla Doom, but he pulled it off with a bit of dehacked stuff here and there. So what I decided to do for this video is play on both Hurt Me Plenty and Ultraviolence, because the map it's distinct enough in both forms, and the Hurt Me Plenty is a good way of introducing the flow of the map and showing off how it's sort of been faithfully reproduced in Doom, and then Ultraviolence shows off Time of Death mapping, effectively, and his ideas about enemy placement, so enjoy. So, quite faithful to start off with, as you can imagine. It is faithful in terms of monster placement on hard for Quake, with the appropriate substitutions. So on Hurt Me Plenty, it's quite gentle. I mean, you've got chain gunners for grunts, your ogres of evidence. There's your first scrag there, who's our friendly character. That secret, of course, in Quake is in water, but the Doom engine, it can't really support that. I mean, I think it could be good as Doom, but this is a boom, vanilla-ish WAD. And, yeah, I mean, it's really gentle, this map on Hurt Me Plenty. So I'm trying to go at a bit of pace, get it out there. And there's a use of sort of, they're not really default textures, there's some custom stuff in there, but it's very true to the Doom style. That was very silly there, the damage I took, but 2 HP. It's doable, keep going, keep pushing in. And yep, that switch exists, which gives you the armour, just like in Quake. Love that. There's the Cacodemons, your Scrags, which is a wonderful name, by the way. You get your armour and your chain, and no, it's not your chain, I think you get a nail gun there in the game. Oh, the nail traps there, I forgot to mention, they were chain gunners in the wall, because that's a pretty appropriate way of doing it. And your knights here are spectres, which is very sweet. Raise the bridge to your silver key, yeah, skull. And a lot more guns to go. And, your quad secret, the one that everyone loves, has been replaced with a BFG, which is wonderful, because you're going to need it. Just one moment around this map where you really need a BFG. I mean, there is actually a bit of room over room on this map, pseudo room over room. The teleporters exist, the ones that trigger the fiends, which are now archvines, which are easy to take down with BFG. But you can go over the lip of that door there, on the exit if you really wanted to. And your final room here, of course, on... And you got your... I think the exit archway looks fantastic. And that's it. I took some damage deliberately earlier, because it's a hurt floor exit sector-y thing. But I forgot midway through the fight at the end, and I didn't let him take damage, so I wasted a lot of time. But there you go, that's the map. It's not unprecedented. I mean, there was a map in 1996, Castle of the Damned remake, which was very similar actually in terms of composition of enemy composition, except for it had weaker hit scanners. I think it had like zombie men, and I think it used Hell Knights maybe, or Barons rather than Vials. But that's a really cool map if you want to dig that out on Doom World. Very gentle. A bit less sophisticated. It didn't have quite the same amount of triggers and switches that this map does. But, you know, I mean, that's not why I really made this video. I mean, it's just to show you that Time of Death, he's quite thoughtful. If you're not very good at Doom, he's giving you something so you can enjoy his map. The real meat, of course, is in Ultraviolence, so let's just check that out. So the immediate change on Ultraviolence mode, as you can see, is that our grunts are now evidence and our ogres are now cyber demons. And that, as you can imagine, has quite a noticeable effect on the difficulty. First thing I'm doing here is shooting these commander keys. There are some switches on the walls, and there are some commander keys, and you need to kill the keys and hit the switches. And in doing so, you release some very important stuff for the end of the level. Got a bait in there. You'll probably notice as well the Pain Elemental is the new scrag, and that is incredibly irritating because when they're paired up with the ogres, the cyber demons, it can be difficult to then get your BFG shots in. You want to kill them before you wake anything else up. This map is one where you're going to need to brush up on your two-shotting skill, because while we have 600 cells from that pickup at the beginning, you need to make them count, really. There's an interesting point here about this this bridge. There's a Revenant who I'm shooting at now, and it's very hard to hit through that gap unless you're standing in the right place, because auto-aim will splash the rocket into a wall. And when you're demo recording, you don't have this granularity with your aim, because your turning resolution when you're recording a demo file is much lower than normally in a game. I mean, normally it stores your position, turning position at like a 16-bit integer. Forgive me for this sort of poor technical jargon, which is I'm not good at all personally. But when you're recording a demo, it's to save space, it's only an 8-bit integer, so it's 1 byte instead of 2 bytes. So you lose a bit of granularity, and it is really noticeable, so it means that making those precise turns can be a bit inappropriate sometimes. It doesn't always work out, basically. So practice your BFG2 shots, and they're really straightforward. You wait for the second rocket, you dodge the first rocket, the minute he fires the second rocket you press fire, and then you just push in, dodge a third of course, and you want to get all those traces to be absorbed by the Cyber Demon. That's where the damage comes in. And it's one of the most satisfying feelings in the game, I think, when you actually finally master that. It took me, so long to actually understand what was going on. I mean, you read about it and you see people say, oh, it's really straightforward to do this. I always find it very difficult. But then again, I found things like, I found circle jumping in Quake and things like that to be very difficult as well, even though I knew technically what I was supposed to be doing, like a bridge to rail or something. So you have a rocket jump here because there's no teleporter, unfortunately. That's really easy. I mean, you just got to line up with the wall, press back and fire, keep holding back down, and then when you hit the platform on the other side, press forward quickly because you can slide off. Our knights are now Archviles, which is quite nice. And what I'm doing here is I'm luring them back to this side of the room because I don't want them going down the stairs, because if they do that, I don't have cover anymore, they wake up the Revenants, I'm wasting more and more ammo. And I'm trying to ration my rockets here. And that's the last of the switches on the walls you can see in this room, so quite good. There's a Pain Elemental or a Scrag around that corner. Incredibly irritating. You want to wake up the Cyber Demon first. I mean, it's what I was doing earlier when I went into the room with the nail trap, except for the other way around now, because before that was about killing the Pain Elemental without accidentally upsetting the Cyber Demon, which is very common. It was for me at least. And here's the first major blunder, really, I make. But I recover quite well, but because of it, I didn't get 2 good BFG shots in, so I need to finish with a shotgun. And mercifully, I'd actually done enough damage. The RNG was kind to me. In those situations when you get hit by a rocket, it's so easy just to screw up, but you just need to keep it calm and just go for it again. And it works out. It always works out. Well, except for the times when you get splashed into one rocket and bounce off a wall and get hit by another, which happened enough times. And here it's about just luring out the Cyber Demons one at a time, because you don't want to... I got hurt by another one. Again, second blunder. And your Fiends there. Archviles. I'm not quite sure what triggers the Fiends, honestly. I walked out into a blast there, which is quite embarrassing. Mistimed. Those revenants are extremely irritating because you can't see them. You know they're up there, and I don't want to pass through that doorway, and I didn't really want to teleport up either until they were dead. I don't want to take any more damage, so I had to just sort of take pot shots. And that's why I didn't want to cross the archway there, because there's another cyber demon, and I didn't feel confident shooting him in this room if I might get hit in the back with a rocket. But there's the last keen. Gonna use the last of my rocket stock here to kill the Vile and the Pain Elemental. Really careful with that Pain Elemental because you don't want any skulls up there because it's probably the tightest space in the whole map in which you fight a Cyber Demon. And you can see there just the splash I'm taking off walls, I barely survive. And here's the twist, see, that opened up those two side wings with the 4 megaspheres and all the ammo. And that's because every square inch of the map is now being filled up with imps, chain gunners, shotgunners. That's about it actually. Zombie men, a few of those thrown in. And this is sort of the release, or the reward. I mean, it's where the Slaughter Map 2013 compilation bit comes in, I think, where it's part of that collection. So there's about 700 people to kill now. And it's really not hard, as long as, one, you don't screw up a very specific part at the end, and two, you just think about your resources, don't waste them. So here I'm just going to start methodically cleaning out the map, and there's really not too much else to say at this point. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, honestly. I know a lot of people don't like this sort of grind because the difficulty, there's no real difficulty. They say, oh, it's just about consistency and about holding the button down or whatever, which is, yeah, fair enough. But that to me, I love that. I mean, some people prefer, you know, the brutal boom man shouting the N-word and lots of gore and begging for death and all these things with the zombie man. I like grinding slaughter maps. Each to their own. I love the use of textures in this map, I don't know if I mentioned it before. Just he's actually customised one of the base ones. That used to be, I think it used to be the trim on the top of the wall, and he's just renewed it. So you clear out this area here. If you notice, they can't come down that staircase earlier, they just walk past. Oh no, I don't actually. And there's lots of invisible walls and sort of line defs that stop the monsters from all funneling toward you, because that will probably make it a bit too easy and boring. And it means you get this nice full map you see here, where every square inch is covered in something. So I took too much damage there, retreat to safety. It's really cute how it says Quake on the wall as well. I love that awful red and green texture, a red and blue texture, so I'm colourblind. I think there's a time of death map where he pretty much exclusively uses that for the walls, and it is, in some respects, ugly as sin, but in others I love the aesthetic. I think the aesthetic has a certain charm to it, even if it is breaking all the rules. Just cleaning out more here. It's a good time. Now this trigger to open this door again is really, I don't know, I have to look at it in Doom Builder maybe, because I don't understand why sometimes it won't trigger. So I had to go back and forth here until it finally opened up. Which is kind of dangerous because you could take damage if you're not looking at the door all the time. Yeah, here we go. So this is the last of them before that starting room basically, where, if you remember, I left a Cyber Demon alive because it's not worth fighting him. Yeah, so you'll see why. See, this should be nice and easy. I mean, this was my second exit on the map, and I was trying to get under 10 minutes, but it didn't work out. So the theory here, is hopefully he gets distracted because one of the hit scanners hits him, which happened there. But then it wasn't happening after that, and I got really impatient, and I do this. I push in, push in here, and I just get hit in the face, just awful, and then I do it again, because I think I was really, really low. And it puts me on 6, so a single shot could kill me from pretty much anything now. So I'm shitting it. This is only my second exit, and it's just a lot faster than the first one. I thought this is brilliant, because Time of Death did a first exit demo of this. It was, I think he did it in 11 minutes 53, which is impressive. And as I say, I'm on time here for getting under 11 minutes, no problem, so I wanted to stay alive. So what I'm doing is I'm taking advantage of the BFG traces, really. Shoot the wall, peek out, traces hit things, repeat. And that's the end here, but problem is there's that lava to cross, which is 20 ticks of damage, which will kill me. But thankfully, make it across. The game is merciful. Enter the lava. At the end, map ends. So there you go, 1033. Not bad. Could be a lot better, but I think it's just a lovely map, and I just want to show it off. Really, it's not about getting the optimal time. So there you go. That's Castle of the Damned by Time of Death. Really good map maker. You should check them out. You should also check out the Slaughterfest Mega WADs. Look forward to the 2013 release. I think there's a pre-release version up now if you can't wait. Which you probably can wait, but enjoy. That's all.